for coming. We'll have a written version of this to hand out to you, and we'll maybe take a couple questions afterwards, depending on what they are. Last night, investigators from the Champaign County Sheriff's Office, the Champaign Police Department, and the University of Illinois Police Department, working in conjunction with the State's Attorney's Office, arrested 2 individuals in connection with the murder of Vicente Mundo. The University Police investigators and the Champaign Police investigators had already developed substantial information concerning Mr. Mundo because of his disappearance. His friends and acquaintances were interviewed last week. After Mr. Mundo's body was discovered and then identified last night, our investigators, along with CPD and U of I PD, used that information and ended up re-interviewing Daniel Gonzalez. He made various admissions. After that, various search warrants were obtained, and a Reginald Scott was also questioned and made various admissions. We have recovered Mr. Mundo's vehicle. We have also seized a 2000 Plymouth Neon belonging to Mr. Gonzalez. Other items of potential evidentiary value have also been seized. The murder occurred as part of a pre-planned armed robbery of Mr. Mundo involving relatively small amounts of marijuana and cash. It occurred Sunday evening in Mr. Gonzalez's Neon while it was parked in the parking garage at Mr. Mundo's apartment building, which is located in the 300 block of East Chalmers in Champaign. Shortly after the murder, Gonzalez and Scott then took Mr. Mundo's body to the rural area northwest of Colono. That would be near the intersection of 1000 E and 900 North. They removed his body from the vehicle and left it in a tree line. The handgun believed to have been used in the crime was recovered this morning. Both subjects are currently in the custody of the Sheriff's Office. They'll be arraigned by video at 1:30 this afternoon in courtroom F. The quick arrest and recovery of evidence was the result of tremendous cooperation and hard work by the investigators and the 3 police agencies. That's the Sheriff's Office, Champaign Police Department, and U of I Police Department, with the assistance of Julia Reach, the State's Attorney's Office. The Coroner's Office worked on this, and the U.S. Marshals Service also helped make one of the arrests. I can't compliment the investigators enough for their hard work, for their tremendous cooperation, and the work that Champaign and the U of I did in working up the missing person was a tremendous asset in being able to solve this so quickly. So we'll give you a written version of this at the close of this. Folks want to say that?
No, you know, this was a tragedy for our student community. It really was. It was an isolated incident. And as the sheriff mentioned, I echo the work that the investigators did and the patrol officers and everybody. I think it really shows the bond we have in this community. You know, when something happens in our community, and that includes U of I students, the Urbana Police Department, the Champaign Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, the State Police, various federal agencies, we all work together. Again, this is a tragedy. I've spent time at the vigil and gotten to know Vicente a little bit, and it really is tragic. This young man was a student. He was well loved, and unfortunately fell to this situation.
I too would like to thank the detectives that worked this case from all 3 agencies. They worked well together. We'd like to thank the public for their cooperation when we were working a missing person case. There were several people in the public that helped us. The families were helpful with us, and that was the difference in us being able to solve this case quickly. So we thank the public for their coming forth with information. We do recognize we still have 1 missing student that we're still concerned about. It's an isolated incident from this one, but we want to point out we're still looking. We ask the public to continue to help us as we look for Mr. Zamunda, and as well, Mr. Zamora. And then we also ask that the public work with us on other unsolved homicides in the city of Champaign. Thank you.
So we will be in arraignment court this afternoon on the 2 suspects. They will be charged with various counts of first-degree murder. I'm happy to give out information as to the sentencing ranges, but I do want to express our appreciation for the good work of the investigators who handled this case, and we are looking forward to moving forward and resolving this case in its entirety.
At this time, we'll take a couple questions.
Could you go back to Mr. Gonzalez and how you got to him and how he linked you to the other gentleman? I read kind of fast, Dan.
Mr. Gonzalez is an acquaintance of Mr. Mundo. I believe he's known him for maybe even a couple of years. There were certain statements he made upon his first interview that the investigators thought needed to be followed up on, and that's why he was talked to.
And do you believe Mr. Mundo was selling cannabis?
I'm not going to address that issue right now,
No, why not?
because I don't want to.
It's still an ongoing investigation at this time, so there's a lot of things that still need to be tied up.
Can you confirm, I'm sorry, that Mr. Scott and Mr. Gonzalez are both Parkland College students?
You said Mr. Scott and Mr.
Gonzalez, so the suspects, those that were offended, those were arrested?
Okay. Are there active parking students right now? I'm not 100% sure. I know there are arrestees. We know that Mr. Mundo is a University of Illinois student. As far as the whereabouts, as far as them being a student somewhere else, I can't confirm that 100% now. Other questions?
Sheriff, could you tell us how many times he was shot? Maybe you said it, how many times he was shot and where he was shot, or is that part of the investigation? You'd rather not go there?
I'd rather not go there at this point. The state's attorney may have further information if she so chooses with the arraignment, but not at this point.
Do you know which one's the shooter?
Yes.
Will you tell
Who's the
us?
shooter?
Not at liberty to say it. As I said, this is an ongoing investigation. We recognize the public is quite concerned about this incident. Outside of our community, we know there are a lot of people in the Chicagoland area that are concerned as well. That's the reason why we wanted to get the information out to the public as quickly as possible. But please understand, there's got to be a prosecution that has to occur, and we have to finish up the investigation, tie up some loose ends, and get everything to the state's attorney's office so they can do a proper review. So we're still in the early stages of it. We're happy to report we made the arrest, but at this point in time, there's still work that needs to be done. There's been a lot of great work up to this point in time, but like I said, when we get more, it'll come out. Thank you.
Could you tell us where you found the car? Mr. Mundo's car, I'm sorry.
It was somewhere near Mr.
It was found in Campus Town. Yeah, it was found in Campus Town. I don't remember the exact address, but it was found in Campus Town somewhere.
And when?
Last night.
Did the suspects tell you where it was, or did you just come across it?
I'm not going to go into those specifics.
Okay.
Now, and as all of you know, we need probable cause to make an arrest. Everybody is presumed innocent until they plead guilty or until they're found guilty.
Will details of who shot who come out in court today, Julia, probably?
That's most likely.
Okay.
Cool. Other questions? And one thing I just had Chief Christian point out to me, that vehicle was actually found in the city of Champaign, not necessarily in Campus Town. And that's the vehicle belonging to Mr. Mundo.
And forgive me, whose neon was it in which Mr. Mundo was shot? It belonged to which of the two arrestees? Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
And where was that found and when?
Mundo's car was found,
Mr. Gonzalez?
Mr. Gonzalez's car was found in Campus Town
And when?
last night.
Can you give us an update on the investigation, or Mr. Zamora's investigation?
Mrs. Ward, investigation is still ongoing, it's active. We have detectives working it. They're following up all the leads that we have. We've been tracking activities all the way up until they stopped. We're still working the cases. Last time Mr. Zamora was seen was in Urbana, northwest Urbana in the University Avenue area around Crystal Lake Park. We have done some search of Crystal Lake Park. We're still actively working and still actively asking the public to assist us if they can give us information. As we get updates, we try to provide them to the family. I'm sorry I have to report that we don't have many new leads, but we're looking and we're still active investigation. Cool. At this point in time, we'd like to thank you for coming in. There's handouts at the back that summarizes this press release, things that Sheriff Walsh has read to you, and you guys have a good day.
And there's pictures up here of the booking photos if you guys want.